Good evening, sisters and brothers. Tara said we only had 3 minutes to speak. I said, how the hell do you cover the legend that is Rick Levy in 3 minutes? But first off, just a few minutes ago, IBEW's own Angie Burris and Boomer Sooner said to give this to you, Rick. This is all for you, my brother. The first time I ever saw Rick Levy was sometime in the early 90s while he was addressing the IBEW's Texas State Association of Electrical Workers, of which he was our lobbyist. The first thing I noticed was this guy calling out and slightly berating individuals in this room full of electricians and linemen. I thought, uh-oh, this shit ain't gonna go over very well. Of course, most of them already knew and loved Rick. It was like being called out by Don Rickles in Las Vegas, I guess. I found out that it was a privilege and a badge of honor to be called out and ridiculed by Rick Levy. I still remember the moment that I learned that Rick was going to join the leadership of the Texas AFL-CIO. I was leaving a local political event and ran into one of the staff members of the state Fed. Becky had announced her retirement as president, and it was obvious that John Patrick was going to become the president to fill her unexpired term. And I asked this staff member, who will remain anonymous at this time, but her initials are Lee Forbes. I asked her who might be appointed to fill John's term as Secretary-Treasurer. She looked around and she leaned over and whispered, Rick. I said, Rick? Rick who? She said, Levy. I said, oh my God, my jaw dropped open, and then I smiled. I said that was the most exciting news to come out of the Texas AFL-CIO that I had ever heard. When Rick became president of the Texas AFL-CIO, the whole of Texas IBEW was behind him and very excited. Then he started talking about the Texas Climate Jobs Project and a pro-climate agenda. Oops. All that some of our members heard was pro-climate. You have to understand that some of the best and highest paying jobs in the IBEW are in the fossil fuel power industry and are the heartbeat of some of the small town communities around the state where many of our members live and work. And they took it as an attack on their livelihoods from the president of the Texas AFL-CIO. Rick set out immediately to repair this rift, and at the same time continued to work to create the Texas Climate Jobs Project. He was more than successful at both of those goals. 3 minutes is not enough time to go into all the details of how he did it, but suffice it to say that some of his loudest critics among the IBEW membership at that time are sitting in this room celebrating him tonight. And one even sits on the committee of the Climate Jobs Project. I saw a picture of Rick up here and Ryan Pollock and Donnie Mayo hugged up in an embrace, and there was a time when that was never going to happen. But that's a testament to Rick Levy. For me, this will be Rick's most lasting legacy for the Texas AFL-CIO and for the IBEW in Texas. Lynn, Rose, Jesse, Isaac, thank you for loaning Rick to us for all these years. Without your sacrifices, the Texas labor movement would not be where it is today. Rick Levy, my brother, my friend, on behalf of the 35,000 IBEW members in Texas, congratulations in your retirement, and thank you for your leadership, your strength of character, and your love and devotion to the working women and men of this state. We will all be forever in your debt. Thank you, brother.